a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. Houston University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to Florida University for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to the director of the admissions office, it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Wiley College. I feel really good. I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Wiley College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. Houston University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to a Florida university for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to like the director of the admissions office, like it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Wiley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Wiley College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. Houston University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to a Florida university for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to like the director of the admissions office, like it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Wiley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Wiley College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. Houston University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to Florida University for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to the director of the admissions office, it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Wiley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Wiley College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. That's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. Houston University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to Florida University for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to the director of the admissions office, it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Wiley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Wiley College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN College Fair brings post-secondary college opportunities to RUSD seniors.
We are here with over 30 colleges and universities that will be doing on-the-spot admissions and scholarships. Today, we hope to see up to 1,000 students from the surrounding districts, and in this partnership this year, we expect to get 200 to 300 Rialto Unified School District students accepted to college. We are confident we'll have over $2 million in scholarship offers.
It feels good to be accepted to a college. Like, that's my first application. I've always wanted to go to an HBCU. My family's from HBCUs. And it just feels good to, follow in their footsteps.
I just got accepted to Johnson C. Houston University. It's a good opportunity for me. I feel happy about it. HBCU, I want to experience that.
Our students have worked hard in preparing their resumes and preparing their communication skills for interviews. What is unique about this college fair is that students get on-the-spot scholarships, they get full rides, they get admission, which basically helps them to be really jazzed up about the college admissions process.
I'm from Rialto High School and I just got accepted to Tuskegee University, and I know my mom's going to be very proud.
I got a scholarship to Florida University for $8,000. I feel really excited, and it's just a great opportunity because I didn't know a lot about these colleges before, and having the opportunity to talk to the director of the admissions office, it's more personal.
This is the one time where kids will get an opportunity to see colleges and universities from all across the nation, specifically historically black colleges and universities, and maybe the only time they'd ever be able to access one of these schools.
I got accepted into Wiley College. I feel really good, and I feel like I came a long way from my freshman year, so hopefully the future will be better.
Seeing Kira get accepted to Wiley College is such a historic moment for not only our school, but for her family and for herself. So I am so proud of her and cannot wait to support her in Marshall, Texas.
A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of spirit for going to colleges, particularly for historically black colleges and universities, and consistent with our strategic plan where we are providing resources both inside and outside the classroom to give kids the opportunities that they need in order to pursue a postgraduate career. I want to thank our Board of Education for continuing to support our efforts here in the Rialto Unified School District.
On today's Bridging Futures, the United College Action Network UCAN.
I'd like to adjourn have a motion to adjourn closed session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Time is 7:17. And at the direction of the Board of Education, board meetings are recorded, broadcasted, and streamed live and may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Tonight, we have a strategically unique presentation by Rialto High School, but first, let's have Rialto High School student Genesis Avila lead us in the pledge, please.
Good evening. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Genesis. And now, selected students from Rialto High School, Diana Salazar, Maya Smith, Christian Flores, and Genesis Avila will perform a skit, A Day in the Life of a Rialto Night.
Hey Genesis, look, there's selling kindness scraps for only 10 PBIS points.
That's perfect. I have 100.
So do I. Do you want to purchase some for the board?
Yes.
Let's go.
Hi, Maya and Diana.
Hi.
May we please purchase 16 grams? Of course, that'll be 80 points each.
You can put in your ID number. Perfect. We'll have them delivered by Friday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
That's it.
Happy all.
Have a great Rialto Day.
Speaking of a Rialto Day,
here at Rialto High School, we believe we can be anything we set our minds to.
A musician.
A nurse. An engineer.
an artist,
A director.
A cadet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day. And thank you all.
Since we don't have any presentation students, when you come back out, I'd like to get a picture with the Board of Education.
Yes.
What happens if we all get in touch with parents? Come on up. Come on up. Good to see you. Are you at the best man? Me? Maya. Right next to Dr. Thank you. Everybody nice and close on your side. Like an 8 comment.
Oh, come on, parents.
Only if you're on the ground. Only if you want to. You don't have to. You don't have to. Of course. Yes, go right next to you. Grandparents too. Parents, grandparents. How's that? You'll brighten up our social media page. Everybody get a little bit closer. I already love the smile. It will be in our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can pull for those pictures, okay? Thank you. Gracias.
We also want to thank Knight's principal, Dr. Sweeney, our teachers, and our parents and guardians for being here tonight to support our talented Rialto High School actors, student actors. Go Knights! Next we go to report out of closed session.
Thank you, President Montes. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Ricardo Carranza, Personnel Specialist. The roll call vote was unanimous. The Board of Education took action to approve the release of all claims settlement agreement for California Superior Court number CIVDS 1908665, 139-18369 versus Rialto Unified School District. The roll call vote was unanimous. And the Board of Education took action to approve the release of all claims settlement agreement for California Supreme Court case number CVIDS 1814585, 1334740 versus Rialto Unified School District. The roll call vote was unanimous.
Thank you, Dr. Avila. Next, we go to adopt tonight's agenda. Do we have any pulls or changes? If not, can we get a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we go to B, presentations, High School District Student Advisory Committee, DSAC presentations. And tonight, Aviance could not join us tonight, our student board member, but in his place, our DSAC ambassador, Steve Paez from Eisenhower High School, will announce our DSAC speakers. Take it away, Steve.
Thank you. Up first, we have Justin Bailey from Myler High School.
Good evening, President Montes, Honorable Board, Superintendent Avila, and viewing audience. I am Justin Bailey, a member of Myler High School's ASB. It has been a busy time at Myler High School. First off, Myler High School hosted its semi-annual blood drive. Approximately 30 Myler Mustangs participated, and by doing so, helped save many lives. Remember, for every pint of blood donated, 3 lives can be saved. Great job, Mustangs. Our next blood drive will be in the spring. Hope to see many Mustangs attend. Beginning on October 18th, staff and students were invited to connect breathing classes conducted by Miss Marlene Schwartz. These classes are held in our Wellness Center every Friday after school. These classes are a great way to learn relaxation and coping skills. Thank you, Mrs. Schwartz, for teaching us in these therapeutic activities that promote wellness. In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the ASP class has made handmade distributed pink ribbons to all students and staff. Even though the month of October is over, they are still proudly displaying on clothing, lanyards, and backpacks. Halloween turned out to be quite a busy day. First, Miss Villavazo from Wells Fargo Bank was on campus and spoke to the students enrolled in economic classes. She discussed the importance of personal financing, opening checking savings accounts, establishing and maintaining a credit profile, and the appropriate use of credit cards. The information she provided was extremely valuable, considering many of these students will be graduating this quarter. Next, the ASB class held a pumpkin carving contest during lunch. 20 students participated in the fun, while others cheered them on. The office staff were the judges for first, second, and third place. Prizes were awarded. For some students, it was their first time ever carving a pumpkin. So it was a great experience for them and also all the rest of the Mustangs. We also decorated the school with students' artwork and paper marigold flowers in honor of Day of the Dead. Our next event will be our first fundraiser, which is Kona Ice. They will actually be on our campus tomorrow. We're hoping it will be a great success. We will also kick off our canned food drive that will benefit a local homeless shelter. In other news, the Myler Lady Mustangs volleyball had their first game on November 6th. Thank you to Coach West and Coach Kamen for guiding them and training these ladies through the season. Also on November 6th, seniors visited San Bernardino Valley College. They were to tour the campus and learn about the special programs Valley College has to offer. As the year is coming to an end, there are about 20 to 30 potential second quarter graduates, as well as many students that will transition back to their home schools. Exciting times at Myler High School. Don't forget, the key word is Myler. Mustangs always show their pride on the court, on the field, in the quad, in the community, and most importantly, in our classrooms. And don't forget your Myler values, which are M for motivated, I for intelligent, L for loving, O for organized, R for respect. And remember, Mustangs, take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of your school. We are Model Continuation High School. So remember, Myler is number one. Thank you, Board of Education and Dr. Avila for all your time.
And Steve, go ahead and join us here at the chair on the dais. You don't have to keep getting up every time to introduce somebody. Go ahead and join us while you do the presentations.
Welcome. Welcome.
Up next, we have Cynthia Grano from representing Carter High School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Cynthia Grano, and I am the very proud ASB President at Carter High School. I hope everyone is having a great November. To start off, I'd like to share exciting events that are happening at Carter this month. On November 1st, we participated in the inaugural Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, celebration at the Chavez Huerta Center for Education. Mrs. Ramos took the lead in making sure we had a wonderful altar to be displayed. She did a fantastic job making it all happen and representing Carter. Next, we are very proud of our football Lions for making it to playoffs. Last week, we celebrated our amazing team for beating Lake Elsinore and are so excited to announce that they are advancing to the second round of playoffs and will be playing Temecula Valley. The game will be held at Carter this Friday, November 15th at 7 p.m. We invite you all to come and support our Lions. On November 4th, we celebrated the grand opening of our Wellness Center Meditation Garden. We were joined by Carter staff, students, and district dignitaries. It was a wonderful event. We are so excited for all the help and healing the Meditation Garden will bring to Carter High School. Last but not least, I would like to give a huge shout out and congrats to one of the teachers, Miss Jessica Buckle. She was selected as the 2019 Outstanding History Social Science Educator by the Inland Empire Council for Social Studies. The Inland Empire Council for Social Studies is a professional organization which serves social studies educators in San Bernardino, Riverside, and parts of Los Angeles counties. Ms. Buckle was nominated by CHS Assistant Principal Mrs. Natasha Harris Dawson, who says she does everything to create equity and access for all students using technology to provide different education mediums. Her classes participate in a variety of activities, including producing music videos and daily blogs. She brings education to life where you don't see it in a traditional classroom, and she always puts her students' needs first. Thank you, Board of Education, Dr. Avila, and our viewing audience. Have a great night.
Up next, we have Diana Salazar representing Rialto High School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Diana Salazar, and I'm the proud ASB co-president at Rialto High School. I am excited to share with you some of the great things taking place on our campus. We finished October strong with an amazing Homecoming Spirit Week, football game, and homecoming dance that welcomed over 790 students for an evening of dancing, food, and fun. Yesterday, after school, we celebrated our Clubsgiving with the second annual Clubsgiving event. Then, ASB cooked a spaghetti dinner for our custodial staff to thank them for all they do for us and our campus. Rialto Athletics celebrates our fall sports success with the girls volleyball team and girls golfer Claudia Carbajal for making it to the CIF playoffs, and Irbeto Hernandez, who brought home the San Andres League championship for cross country. Congratulations. Tomorrow, we are excited to welcome students from all over the district for the California Association of Student Leaders Development Day, where we will be learning the foundations of leadership. On November 21st, the class of 2020 game night is from 4 to 6 p.m. It's a free event where students will play board games, enjoy free snacks, and vote for the Prom 2020 theme. This holiday season, Knights of Compassion Club will be running our Winter Wish campaign, which will be granting wishes made by our Knights. Keeping with the holiday season, our first annual winter workshop will take place on December 3rd in the Great Hall. This free event will have cookie decorating, gingerbread house building, and holiday card making stations, along with free hot chocolate and a showing of Nightmare Before Christmas, which is open to all grade levels. And because it is National Kindness Day, we hope you like the kindness grams that Rialto High School gave to you guys. We also would like to thank our students, staff, and parents, and community members for all their support for helping our school be successful. We're thankful. I wish you all a restful and blessed Thanksgiving and holiday season. Thank you, and have a great rest of the night.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. I am Steve Paez, the proud ASB president of Eisenhower High School. This last month has been exciting for Eisenhower. First, the success of College and Career Week. We had over 100 students apply for Valley College free college program. Over 680 students complete their PSAT, 60 students attend our Cash for College night, and 225 seniors applied for the Cal State universities. We would like to thank Ms. Stevenson, Ms. Kelly, Ms. Ibrahimi, and our counselors, Mr. Hampton, Ms. Wood, Ms. Cole, Ms. Edwards, Ms. Soto, Mr. Jackson, for all their hard work that went into planning and delivering the great week of activities. We celebrated our first Eagle of the Month. We are proud to recognize freshmen Betzelia Singh and Destiny Jimerson, sophomores Caroline Guzman and Leah Perez, juniors Adrian Casillas and Queenie Yaboa, and seniors Sharon Molnar and Thais Preciado as Eagles of the month of October. We are excited to bring this new tradition to our school, celebrating the excellence that is at Eisenhower High School. Our teachers have been hard at work completing the WAS document. We are so thankful for the hard work of Ms. Basantes Mills, Ms. Cheevers, Mr. Davis, Mr. Atkinson, Mr. Flores, Ms. Fitzpatrick, Ms. Barone, Mr. Quintero, Mr. Salcido, and Mr. Berry. They have been working really hard alongside Dr. Thomas and Ms. Polito to complete the document, host meetings, and make sure we are ready for our visit in March. We are excited to invite you to participate in this month's activity. Our football team has advanced to the second round of playoffs after defeating Big Bear last week. This Friday, we host Crescenta Valley at 7 p.m. The season of service is underway at Eisenhower High School. We are currently planning and delivering 9 different community service projects that reflect the kindness exhibited by Eisenhower students. The projects are all student ran and planned. They are the Eisenhower Special Olympics care packages for foster youth, Christmas baskets for the children hospital, a blanket, sweater, socks, and glove drive for the homeless, female veteran care packages for the Teenage Paradise Fire victims, wigs for kids, a day at the retirement center, and stockings for elementary students. Students are collecting donations to help fund their projects in No Shave November boxes located in participating teachers' rooms. The teachers helping our cause are Ms. Salache, Mr. Chavez, Mr. Camacho, Ms. Rodriguez, Ms. Jimenez, Ms. Machi, Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Davis, Mr. Ressa, Mr. Cortez, Ms. Nilsson, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Berry, Mr. Rawls, Mr. Hudson, Ms. Mills, Mr. Escamilla, Ms. Smalls, Ms. Stevenson, and Mr. Polito. Thank you to all of our participating teachers and everyone who has supported our cause. Our leadership students are busy participating in leadership development. Tomorrow, our students are attending a leadership development day at Rialto. Next week, we are hosting our annual Lean Crew conference with 8 other schools scheduled to attend. You are invited to attend our Fresh Giving Night hosted by Lean Crew. It's on November 20th at 5 p.m. in our cafeteria. Freshmen will be served traditional Thanksgiving sides and will play family-style games. We have partnered with our 9th grade teachers to make it a fun night filled with competition for our freshmen, who have earned the achievement doubling the number of freshmen with straight A's. Want to hear about our award-winning band? This past weekend, they earned a third-place trophy at their competition at Don Lugo High School. We are very proud of their achievements. In the last 3 competitions, their scores have done nothing but get higher. Their next competition is this Saturday at Roland High School. We love to see you at our fall play this week entitled Almost Maine. The play runs Wednesday through Friday at 6 p.m. Thank you to our drama production and Mr. Ressa for putting an incredible amount of hard work to create this play. Thank you for your time to hear about great things happening at Eisenhower High School.
Thank you, Steve.
You look good in that chair.
Next, we go to item C2. Item C1, public comments from the floor. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. And I've got 3 speaker cards for 1 person. 2 for items not on the agenda, and 3 for items not on the agenda. And I'll go ahead and call him forward. Mr. Michael Montano. I just would like to ask you, Mr. Montano, I understand you have 3 different topics you want to speak about, but if you could please find a way to use your 3 minutes for all 3 topics. Unless you have an item you'd like to speak on the agenda, because normally we don't allow multiple speaker cards unless it's 1 for each item.
There are 3 different items.
Well, I meant for items not on the agenda, 1 for items not on the agenda, and 1 for items on the agenda. Otherwise, people would bring 10 cards for items.
Right. Can we make it 4 to get 3? 4 minutes to get 3 items?
Oh, yes, I am.
I'll make it this quick. Good evening, everyone in attendance and those viewing at home. The first thing that I'd like to speak on is, I don't know if our board is familiar with the Schools and Communities First initiative, which is an attempt to correct some loopholes in Proposition 13 that would help fund schools and communities by over $13 billion per year. And I have some handouts for the board on that. Which some highlights are that want everybody to understand that it does not affect property owners, and businesses already paying their fair share. So hopefully you can look into that and support that. There'll be a campaign to get that going that will definitely help our schools. California has the 5th largest economy, yet we're 10th from the bottom when it comes to per pupil spending, and this is one way that can correct that and get us back up on the top. So hopefully, again, the board can jump on board and support that. So that's the first issue. The second thing that I'd like to share or talk about is cell phones. I know it's been talked about quite a few times with the problems that they create. So some few statistics that I'd just like to share is that it's found that up to 70% of all of teens' problems come from cell phone usage with the link to social media. On average, teens check their phones once every 6 minutes and have been known to receive up to 150 notifications in 1 hour. This is through the Snapchat app.
We're talking about.
I'm sorry?
Is that your text me?
81% of older teens use social media, and 68% of teens ages 13 to 14 use social media. 77% of parents say their teens get distracted by their devices and don't pay attention when they're together. As a result, kids are experiencing self-esteem and self-confidence issues, lacking in social skills and personal interactions with others. We know that in our district, our math and reading scores are not what they'd like, so if we can help focus more attention away from the cell phone into the classroom, that would be helpful. And I know this is a hot topic, so it's been talked about that we should hear from all stakeholders, parents, students, and educators. We are now almost halfway through the school year, so if we can maybe put a date on when the stakeholders can come together and talk about this issue to benefit all our students, that would be great. Again, we're already almost halfway through the school year. Last thing, 1 minute if I can. I have another handout for the board, and this is we're hearing more and more attacks or assaults on employees, certificated and staff, that are not reported, which is mandated by Ed Code. And when they're not being reported for teachers, leads you to wonder what's going on when students. So if students feel that there's no consequences for attacking the adult staff in our schools, what are they willing to do with students of their own age? So again, this is Ed Code, and this is not. This is happening at several sites throughout the district that I'm aware about. And on two things, I need to give our new principal some kudos for, Dr. Sweeney, who I don't know if she's still here. She's made it clear that that is unacceptable at our site, and to share something else that she's done an amazing job with is our school site council. We had one parent share with us that this is he's not sitting on school site council, but he's sat on 3 previous and has sat in a couple of meetings in our school site council, and he stated that this is the first time that it has been transparent in school site council with the developing of how Title I funds are going to be spent. And so again, I just want to say thank you to Dr. Sweeney. It's been a very transparent process, a lot of work, and some hard conversations, and when it comes to funding of what has to get cut, but we've had those discussions, and so it's kind of really open, so hopefully other schools will follow. So again, I just wanted to thank her on those 2 issues, and thank you for the extra minute or 2.
Thank you, Mr. Montano. We definitely appreciate your input as a teacher and as a union representative. We know we've gotten various emails from you, and we know that you're always, fighting for what you believe is right, and we believe many of those things to be right as well. But I just do want to remind you that we have to stick to the 3 minutes, so please don't ask me to do that again. Next, we go to Maria Sandoval.
Buenas noches.
Good evening.
Mi nombre es María Sandoval.
My name is María Sandoval.
¿Le puede pasar esto aquí rapidito?
Sí, claro.
Disculpe. And I want my 6 minutes. No, todas. Bueno, no. Ya que les pasen una hasta la señora de Iglesiasito.
So please pass them all the way around. ¿Hasta allá?
Sí.
Bien.
No, la audiencia no.
Not the audience?
Ahorita me van a oír ustedes.
You'll hear me right now.
Bueno, buenas noches otra
Good
vez,
evening again.
mesa directiva, presidente Montes, doctor Ávila
Board,
y
President Montes,
audiencia.
Ávila, and audience.
Quiero empezar ¿me pueden dar un segundo? Ahorita todavía no lean la carta.
Can you give me a second? Going to read the letter now.
Quiero agradecer, antes de que lean eso, quiero agradecer grandemente a unas personas que estuvieron trabajando muy duro y muy directamente para que el Día de Muertos, el evento de Día de Muertos, fuera todo un éxito.
I want to greatly thank several people who worked very hard so that the Dia de los Muertos event was such a great success.
La señora Rebeca González,
Ms. Rebeca González,
la señora Idolina, a Marisela Gutiérrez y el señor Gutiérrez, que es el esposo, a la señora Leonor, la señora Mirna, Lubia Nava. Estas personas trabajaron desde días antes, 2 semanas, haciendo todo el arreglo del patio.
these people began working days before, in fact 2 weeks before, doing all the adornments and arrangements in the patio.
Ya. Las personas que estuvieron ahí creo que sí se dieron cuenta de lo hermoso que estaba.
I think the people that showed up did see how beautiful it was.
Estuvieron ahí hasta las 9:30 casi de la noche, un día antes.
They were there till 9:30 the previous night.
Con escaleras, martillos, clavando,
With
como
ladders, hammers.
un trabajo muy duro, pero
Hammering.
con un amor que cuando tú haces algo con amor se refleja en los resultados.
Very hard work, but doing it with such love. And when you do things with love, the results reflect so.
Por eso preguntaban que cuál fue el éxito de que hubiese tanta gente y tantos padres de familia en ese evento.
So people asked, why was it such a success? Why were there so many people? What was the reason that so many people showed up to these events?
Yo en lo personal, oyendo muchos comentarios, la conexión y el sentirse bienvenidos.
Here in the comments, I personally realized or deduced that it was feeling welcome. ¿Y qué más dijo? El sentirse bienvenidos, ¿y qué más?
Y conectados.
And connected.
Creo que no dije ese programa. También le quiero agradecer al señor Montes.
I also want to thank Mr. Montes.
Por la espectacular danza.
For the spectacular
danza azteca, y también el mensaje y lo que es, porque nosotros como cultura hispana no festejamos el Halloween. Y eso para nosotros no era Halloween, era el Día de los Muertos, y creo que todo quedó muy claro en eso.
And the message and what it means, because for us Latinos, we do not celebrate necessarily Halloween. For us, we were celebrating Day of the Dead, and that simply stated so.
Y a cada uno de los directores que les dieron la oportunidad a sus escuelas para participar, a cada uno de los altares que estuvieron preciosos, un tremendo agradecimiento.
And to each of the principals who allowed their schools to present an altar, they were beautiful. Again, greatly thankful.
También la señora Lara, también la que ella y su hija, no tengo el nombre, pero que estuvieron trabajando también con otra maestra, que tampoco tengo el nombre, pero ellas saben quiénes son.
Okay, Ms. Lara as well, and her daughter, whose name I don't know, and another person, a teacher, whose name I also don't have, but they know who they are.
Trabajaron muy duro para tener ese altar tan hermoso dentro del bistro.
And they worked very hard to create that beautiful altar dentro del distrito.
Del bistro.
Del bistro.
Okay, pasando porque ya veo que me va a quedar menos de 1 minuto y medio. A lo más, después de así como un dulcecito, pues les voy a pasar a decir lo que dice esta forma complaint.
And after speaking of sweet things, I'm going to move on to what this complaint has to say.
Estuve en lo que viene siendo en la Carter High School, en el evento de lo que vino siendo lo del jardín. En la Carter High School, lo que vino siendo apertura del jardín. Ay, gracias.
Okay. The inauguration of the school garden at Carter High School.
Lo cual estuvo muy bonito.
Which was very nice.
Desgraciadamente no hubo la participación, pues invitaciones de los padres.
Unfortunately, parents were not invited to participate.
Y nosotros estábamos ahí porque pues ya saben.
We were there because, as you well know.
Y solamente estuvieron 10 estudiantes, los cuales fueron seleccionados solamente.
And they only had 10 students, which were carefully selected.
Y toda la concurrencia, pues obvio, de Dr. Ávila, Dr. McDuffie, todos los personales importantes del distrito.
Of course, the attendance of Dr. Avila and all these important people from the district office.
Lo que todo fue muy bonito. Pasamos adentro para un refrigerio.
So we went inside for some refreshments.
Y me llamó mucho la atención que una de las maestras consejera encargada del wellness.
And it caught my attention that one of the counselors in charge of the wellness.
Le dio el pase a una maestra.
Allowed a teacher to come in.
Que es afroamericana.
Who's an African American teacher.
Y lo digo no por ponerlo en texto de que es afroamericana.
And I say it not to contextualize the fact that she's African American.
Sino que
Le pido muchas disculpas a señora Sandoval. Ya pasaron 6 minutos y le voy a dar otros 20, 30 segundos más para
solamente
que haga su punto.
rapidito. Sí, gracias, señor Montes. Solamente rapidito. Cuando ella entró, venían 2 estudiantes hispanas con ella.
When she walked in, there were 2 Hispanic students with her.
La consejera les dijo que ellas no podían entrar, que ese no era para ellas, que no era un evento para ellas y que esperaran afuera a la maestra, porque ellas venían con la maestra.
That they couldn't go in. This was not an event for them. That they needed to wait for the teacher outside.
A mí lo que me sorprende y lo que me entristece y me asusta hasta cierto punto es de que como esta consejera, estando todos sus jefes, o sea, desde abajo hasta acá arriba, no le importó hacerles ese desaire a estas 2 estudiantes, que supuestamente ese jardín y ese espacio es para ellas.
And what scared me and what surprised me mostly that this teacher, this counselor, who's again there surrounded by all her bosses, her supervisors, didn't care much about or didn't think much about leaving those 2 students outside, making them feel bad.
Lo cual yo hice que esas niñas entraran. Y les dije que eso era para ellas.
So I allowed the students to go in, and I told them that this event, in fact, was for them.
Y usted, Dr. McDuffie, estuvo ahí. Usted supo de ese incidente y no hizo nada. Dr. Chávez estuvo ahí y no hizo nada.
You, Dr. McDuffie, and Dr. Chávez were there and saw the incident, did nothing about it.
No espero que reprendan a la persona en mi presencia, pero mínimo, que se hayan acercado con esas niñas, porque usted las vio allá adentro. ¿Dónde está?
That counselor in my presence, but at the very least, that you at least come up to those young girls.
Y el de haberles dicho algo, lo que viene siendo lo que usted tanto pregona, que es la equidad, la congruencia. Y desgraciadamente no se nos está dando.
And say something to them to make it in line with what you continue preaching, which is equity.
Thank you, Mrs.
Gracias, Dr. Avila, porque usted sí hizo lo que debía de haber hecho en ese momento.
Thank you, Dr. Avila,
que se disculpó por errores ajenos. Muchas gracias.
You did do what you were supposed to do at that moment, which is apologize for somebody else's mistakes. And you can go ahead and read the letter.
And before we go to the next speaker, I just want to apologize. I do try my best to stay within the 3 minutes given per speaker. I personally don't have a problem giving extra time for people who need translation, because obviously whatever amount of time the translator's translating, it's taken up double the amount of time. But once we pass that 3 minutes given per speaker plus the 3 minutes of translation, I would like to stay within the that time. So I do apologize to Mrs. Sandoval and again to Mr. Montano, but I really need to try to stick to the amount of time for everybody to be fair. So with that, we go to Mrs. Reese, Myrna Reese.
Good evening, board and audience. Since I know I can't fill 2 papers out, I'm gonna try to do it as quickly as I can.
You have 3 minutes, Mrs. Reese.
Miss Reese. Real quick, I just want to start out with also Maria forgot. Obviously, she's not going to give herself kudos, but I do want to thank her also for the hard work that she also did for the Day of the Dead. She was also there until 9:30 p.m., hammering and doing all those wonderful decorations. So thank you, Maria, for doing that. I also want to say thank you. For this morning, we had our SICAME last board meeting to invite everybody for the superintendent roundtable. We had several schools present there representing Rialto, so thank you. I do appreciate it. We did succeed on that, so we did win for the most representation, so thank you. I want to thank Dr. McDuffie for being there. I want to thank each school, which is Cordiac Elementary, Dr. Kempt. I'm going to mention all the principals that were there because we had PTA being represented. Kelly Elementary, we had Mr. Delgado. Bemis, we had Mrs. Lara. Trapp Elementary, we had Mrs. Gutierrez. J. Hugh, Miss Idy, Boyd, Mrs. Corioso. Henry, Dr. Moreland, and Garcia, we had Mrs. Rodriguez. So I do want to thank them for being there and taking their time out of their day. I know today was minimum day for some elementaries. So I truly, truly appreciate it. Also, I want to thank all the wonderful ladies from Nutrition Services for inviting me to the wonderful conference that they had over the weekend, the California School Nutrition Association. It was a wonderful event. It was a wonderful experience for me. I was able to see all these wonderful workers from throughout the state, and it made me realize once more, how we are not supposed to be relating to them as just, cafeteria workers or the kitchen ladies. They are true workers. They're true professionals. They have wonderful workshops. I attended one, and I know I'm going to be meeting with the ladies. We're going to be working on some ideas that I have. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for inviting me. What else? Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is something that is being an issue. I've been talking about this several times. We have to have accountability. So from the sweetness to now the real stuff. We have to have accountability with special ed. We need to really start looking into those things. Our kids are truly being left behind, and we're really not doing anything about it. We have students who their IEPs are not being complied on, they're not being followed, and it's getting ridiculous. I don't think you guys are going to want all this money spent on attorney fees, so seriously, it's about time we have to do something about it. And I really hate being here again talking about this. So we need to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our students.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Next, we go to Ms. Paula Bailey.
Good evening, Superintendent, Honorable Board. Yes, I know, 3 minutes. I like coming up here and starting out with something positive, and I want to say I appreciate the time I got to spend with Dr. Avila. We talked about some stuff he's working on about looking at our younger kiddos so that they have equal opportunity, especially our most challenged kiddos. So I definitely want to start out with that. Unfortunately, I have to come with a concern, which I know is being worked on, but it really, unfortunately, needs to happen with everybody's hands-on as much as they can. Crucera. Crucera is having challenges. I don't want to go into full detail, but we need activities. We need something for these kiddos to do when they have unstructured time. Like I said, I'm not going to get into full detail because I have to stay in my 3 minutes, but you know what I mean. It's just, we need everybody's creativity. We need to find whatever it is because the staff there is working really hard. Ms. Dominguez, this is her, I believe, second year, and she's doing a great job. But we just really need to get in there and support these kiddos. The demographics range from all different social, economical, statuses. I don't know if that has something to do with it. A lot of cultural type challenges. I know in our community, just because I work with families throughout this county, we have a lot of kiddos that have parents that didn't really have the parents to start with to help them become strong parents. And now we have kiddos that are really having challenges in how to, you know, be the best that they can be, because they can be better than they're acting, and we want them to feel the value of who they are and not just say it's not going to matter what I do, because it does affect their future. So again, I want to say thank you to our security, thank you to our Rialto PD and everybody working on it. But, you know, if anybody out there has any creative, any supportive, anything, you know, anybody who could donate services to help this, you know, it's for our future. That's it. And I still have 29 seconds, but thank you and have a great night.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey. Next, we go to Larika Daniel.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My concern is from Casera Middle School as well. I'm concerned about my child's safety, and bullying is being brought to. I've had meetings with the vice principal, Miss Annis. Nothing still has been taken care of. They has went as far as ripping up my daughter's jacket today, dumping out her backpack, stealing her stuff. The girl that have problems with her is fighting all her friends. She's not getting cited for it. She didn't get a citation, a suspension, or anything. This happened today. The jacket ripping today. Last week they did the same thing with her backpack, dumped her stuff out, folded up, ruined her brand new shoes, Jordans that I got her, stealing her lip gloss, squirted it everywhere, torturing her. I'm always talking to Miss Annis, Miss Dominguez. Nothing has been done. She always making reports. I asked her, can I see? Still haven't seen anything. Today, when the school police and the security, I spoke with them. I went up there to talk to my daughter. I told her, come here. I never signed in. I never signed her out, but my daughter is here with me. So clearly the safety is not safe up there. And the bullying is, I'm over the bullying. I don't even know what to do now. I'm making reports. Nothing's been done. The girls are fighting up there, not getting cited, but her friends are getting cited for it, and that's not fair. And I'm just over my baby getting bullied. And they're tearing up her stuff, stealing her stuff out of the locker, all that. I've spoke to the Miss Annis, and nothing has been done about it. So yeah, every day my baby come. I even took her phone away just to make sure she don't have nothing. They're putting stuff on her about her on the internet, talking about they're gonna beat her up, jump her. Like my baby be scared to go to school. So it's like I would like to know what could be done about that. I'm always talking to them, and clearly nothing's been done, because now they're taking her stuff, breaking it, dumping her backpack, threw it in the trash can, all kinds of stuff. So I just like to know what can be done and who can I speak to, or other than them.
I'll go ahead and forward with your permission, I'll forward your information
Please
to
do.
our head leader for the district, and I'm sure he'll have somebody
Okay.
reach out to you from the district.
Okay,
From the
and
district
then
office.
far as the office, just let her walk out to anybody, and I just took her and go. I didn't even talk to anyone. So like that's a whole big problem right there. So
Is this your daughter?
this is my daughter.
Would you like to say something? Your mom's got a few seconds left.
Yes, I don't like it how I get bullied, and it just makes me be scared because they're doing the wrong stuff. And I've been telling the principal and Miss Ennis about it, and they're not doing nothing about it. And I am very disappointed about that.
What grade are you in?
8th.
8th grade?
Yes.
Well, it was very brave of you to come here tonight and stand with your mother while she shares her concerns. We care deeply about bullying. We care deeply about the issues regarding bullying, and we want to help your school get the support that it needs to remedy these issues. So believe me when we say we hear you loud and clear, and we'll do everything we can to make sure your school gets the support that it needs, because we know that sometimes some schools need a little more help than others in regards to bullying, especially our middle schools, especially at that age for teenagers. And
Excuse me, this is a little bit more important. The mother even came to my house, pulled up with 3 other cars, and it was guys in there. I don't know how she got my information. I didn't even know what was going on. I brought that to the school's attention. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, that should be reported to the police department.
Right.
That's out of our purview.
Yeah, I spoke with them and they was talking about her and what's on the internet, so that kind of went.
Well, we have school resource officers that are also law enforcement, so we can relay the information to them
The
too.
police was supposed to come up there to speak with us. They weren't able to come up there, so we just wind up speaking with the Ms. Dominguez and Ms. Annis. But that didn't go too far because now they're tearing up her stuff, stealing her stuff, throwing away her stuff, dumping out, all that. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Next we go to Mrs. Celia Saravia. Miss.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva.
Good evening, members of the board.
Presidente Mr. Montes.
President Mr. Montes.
Vicepresidenta Ms. O'Kelly.
Vice President Ms. O'Kelly.
Superintendente Dr. Ávila.
Superintendent Dr. Avila.
Audiencia.
And audience.
Soy Celia Saravia.
I am Celia Saravia.
Y represento al grupo de apoyo de padres de niños especiales.
And I represent a support group for parents of children with special needs.
Y esta noche queremos invitarlos,
Tonight we want to invite you,
como todos los años,
as we do every year,
a nuestra fiesta de Navidad de los niños especiales,
to our Christmas party for our special children,
que será el viernes 6 de diciembre,
which will take place at December the 6th,
de 4:30 de la tarde a 8 de la noche,
from 4:30 to 8 p.m.
en el salón de la iglesia Santa Catalina de Siena,
at the Santa Catalina de Siena Church in the hall,
ubicada en el 339
which is located at 339
North Sycamore Avenida
North Sycamore Avenue
en Rialto.
in Rialto.
Como siempre, será un honor contar con la presencia de todos ustedes.
As always, it will be an honor to have you all join us.
También quiero felicitar a nuestro distrito
I also want to congratulate our district
por festejar el Día de los Muertos.
for having celebrated Day of the Dead.
Gracias por traer parte de nuestras tradiciones.
Thank you for bringing part of our traditions.
Sabemos que nuestro distrito es multicultural
We know that our district is multicultural,
y es muy bueno que conozcamos las tradiciones
and it's really good that we get to know the
de
traditions
otros países.
from other countries.
Gracias a Mr. Montes por la danza.
Thank you, Mr. Montes, for the dance.
Yo no pude estar presente porque ese día también tenemos otras actividades en la iglesia y yo soy miembro activa,
I wasn't able to
pero
be there because on that particular day we also have other activities at my church, and I'm an active member of my church, but
toda la comunidad comenta de los eventos de nuestro distrito.
the entire community is commenting about all the events in our district.
También referente a lo que está pasando a la niña, el bullying, sabemos que es algo tan grave y tan difícil. Ahorita me rompió mi corazón ver a la niña muy triste.
Also, in regards to what's going on with the young girl, the bullying, we know that it's something really serious and really difficult, and it just broke my heart listening to this young girl.
Y a su mamá también, la preocupación que tiene su mamá.
And to see the concern of her mother also.
Porque los que somos padres sabemos que nos duele más a nosotros los padres lo que les hacen a nuestros hijos.
Because those of us who are parents, we understand that the pain of what they do to our children is a lot more painful to us, the parents.
Pero sabemos que ustedes van a hacer algo por esto y yo le pido a los papás también que nos unamos porque el bullying viene desde la casa, lamentablemente. Y a veces uno quisiera pedir que castiguen a los jóvenes, pero también nos detengámonos a pensar que no sabemos cuál es la situación de esos jóvenes también en sus casas, lamentablemente.
And I know you'll do something about it, but I also want to ask the parents for us to unite, to come together, because we know that bullying comes from the home. ¿Qué más dijo el último? Sí.
No, eso viene de la casa y tenemos que tomar en cuenta también la situación que están viviendo esos jóvenes. También a veces pedimos castigos severos para ellos, pero nos tenemos que detener también a pensar que muchas veces vienen de familias disfuncionales y esa es la reacción que ellos tienen querer atacar a otros porque se sienten ellos atacados en sus casas muchas
We
veces,
should also stop to
lamentablemente.
consider the factors or the reasons why these children act the way they do. Sometimes we insist on punishing these children, but we don't know, or we do know that most of them come from dysfunctional homes and that they're reacting to what they're living through.
Pero yo sé que podemos hacer la diferencia uniéndonos todos los padres, también los administradores, maestros, todos unámonos, la comunidad, porque este es nuestro
But I also know that
distrito.
we can make the difference, all getting together, united, coming together, administrators, parents, teachers, everyone, because the entire district. Continúe.
Y muchas gracias y los esperamos. Como siempre va a ser un gran honor contar con todo nuestro distrito, nuestra comunidad.
Thank you so much, and we expect to see you. It'll be a great honor to have you in the district, our community.
Y les deseamos un feliz y bendecido Día de Acción de Gracias.
We wish you a happy and blessed Thanksgiving Day.
Buenas noches.
Good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Saravia. Do we have any public comments on agenda items? Dr. Avila?
No, we do not.
Okay. Then next we go to item 3, comments from Association Executive Board members, and we'll start with Rialto Education Association.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa Lindberg, president of REA. Today is World Kindness Day, so I will do my best to stick to my prepared remarks, even though I am extremely upset by what I see as a lack of action taking place in our USD. Last spring, I shared with you the report from the Oregon Education Association, A Crisis of Disruption. I understand it was shared at the Summer Leadership Institute here at the district, and then nothing. I was assured by Dr. Avila last spring he would take the lead on getting our members trained on dealing with aggressive students and classroom disruption, and then nothing. And now the crisis has reached Rialto in the most painful way possible. While many of you were sitting at the grand opening of the meditation garden at Carter last Wednesday and congratulating yourselves on another PBIS first, this is some of what has been happening since school started in August. At a general education preschool, a student bites a teacher and tears up the classroom. At an elementary school, a second grader tears up the classroom, breaks the teacher's sunglasses, and throws a Surface Pro to the floor, breaking it as the teacher evacuates the classroom for the other students. At a high school, a student skips out on class more than once and seeks out a teacher he feels has slighted him and threatens to hurt her and her family. The slight? He was transferred from her class based on admin decision because of his relentless bullying of another student in that class. At another elementary school, a second grader diagnosed ED is in the general education classroom and kicks and hits the custodian after he tries to prevent him from beating on his classmates in the cafeteria. He hits and kicks his teacher and a visiting observer. He attacks the principal and kicks him in the groin. These incidents happen every single day. And finally, just this very month, teachers at a middle school are told, all hands on deck, and directed to the quad at lunch because of a massive fights, some staged and some very, very real. A teacher gets knocked over and trampled, suffering a concussion and bruised ribs. She is out for a week on orders of the workers' comp doctor. These are only a few of the incidents which have been reported to me this school year. Even today, I received 2 calls from upset members who have been attacked or threatened by students. Now you may have been told, these teachers need to develop relationships with students. You may have been told teachers are provoking the students. You may hear the principals are not being effective and not communicating the needs at their sites. You were most likely told Lisa does not understand, and everyone at the district is doing everything they can. Well, I am here to tell you, I do understand. I have been doing this work for 33 years, and I have recognized this new crisis, and have been asking for action for over a year and a half. When you should hear at this district, this is what you should be hearing. Some sort of acceptance of responsibility, and that the buck stops here on Walnut. I will not stand by and how I have our members blamed and the principals criticized when the resources needed at the sites are not provided. The Ed Services Department here at the district has more administrators, strategists, and people on special assignment than any of our sites, including the high schools. And I am not including special education in those numbers, because those people are needed. I am not even including student services, which has only 2 administrators, and should probably have more, because it's student services. Whenever the work becomes too much here at Walnut, and now on Palm, more people are hired. But at the sites, they must make do. And please, don't tell me about the state mandate of limiting the administrator to teacher ratio as to why we do not have more resources at our sites. That mandated was designed to prevent top-heavy district administration, not cripple sites. As I have said in the past and am now repeating, anyone who breathes the same air as students on the daily is ignored, and the district office is insulated. It is appalling, and it needs to change now. As the elected officials in charge of this district, I am imploring you to do something, and to do it now, before something truly tragic occurs. Every decision we make will be in the best interest of students. Please live up to that creed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Lindberg. Next, we go to California School Employees Association.
Good evening, Rialto Unified family. I'm Chris Cordasco, Chapter President, Chapter 203, CSCA. Tonight I have 2 items I want to talk about. I want to start off by thanking, well, at the last meeting I spoke about meeting with the district concerning safety officers and the tools that they use in their uniform and such. I'm happy to report we completed our negotiations with the district today. I wanted to thank Gordon Leary and Rhea MacGyver Gibbs for their professionalism. I especially wanted to thank them for their dedication to ensuring that the best interests were met for all district employees and students and all community members. Again, they were emotional talks with the district, and they took it very seriously. Then they listened to us and listened to our officers, and they even went out of their way to let officers come in and speak to them. So they definitely appreciate that. The second thing I want to speak about is the wellness garden grand opening. Awesome to see those resources available to our students and our staff. But I wanted to thank Les and Brian for allowing classified staff to be the workers on that project. Oftentimes projects of that size are contracted out because we're too busy with the maintenance side of it. This gave our staff an opportunity to really shine. And if you visit the garden, you'll see what I'm talking about. Our employees were there for the opening, and the pride in their face, especially when they saw the students' reaction to the facility and how it affected them. That's an awesome thing for classified staff. That's pretty much it for this evening. Hope everybody has a good weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Cordasco. Next, we go to comments from our superintendent. I'm sorry. Rialto School Managers Association? And Communication Workers of America?
No.
Okay, now we go to our superintendent.
Thank you, President Montes. And I have quite a few things today, but I'll try to be as quick as possible. First, we want to congratulate our Cove Middle School principal, Armando Urtiaga, who's been selected Educator of the Year by the California League of Middle Schools. Cusera Middle School math teacher, Amy Lewis. The California League of Middle Schools has selected her for a nomination for the 2019-2020 school year as Educator of the Year. She will move and compete to the next level in the spring in March in Sacramento. And also Carter High School teacher, Miss Jessica Buckle, was selected as Outstanding Educator from the Inland Empire Council for Social Studies. You heard that earlier. Excuse me. Lastly, I want to congratulate students who were selected from East Rialto Kiwanis as Students of the Month from Eisenhower. We have Isaiah Iglesias and Jennifer Ramos. From Carter High School, we have Genesis Gaeta and Raymond Busso. And also kudos to Carter High School speech and debate team. I understand that they're having quite the success right now, recently competing in Redlands with, I don't have the names, we got these from Twitter. They just have Naomi taking first place and Caitlin taking second place, and we'll be moving on to more competition. Also, I want to congratulate all of the district schools who participated in the qualifying round of Legoland. Quite the turnout from the region. KC, Morgan, Warner, Rialto, Cove, Frisbee, Cusera, all participated, with Rialto Middle School taking 2 second places and KC and Morgan taking first place, and we'll move on to the KC and Warner taking first place, and Morgan and Warner taking first place, and we'll be moving on to Legoland for the next round of competition. So kudos to the teachers, the staff, students and parents for supporting students in their endeavors to compete. And it was mentioned earlier, but I'll briefly touch on it. I also want to thank everyone who played a role in organizing and making Day of the Dead the success that it was. It was much larger than anticipated. It originally came up as an idea to hold in the classroom down at Chavez Huerta, but in conversations with Mr. Montes, he wanted to have, or would like to have, something bigger to include the entire community. And so in this case, a lot of hands were on deck from the Parent Center, and parents worked relentlessly to make sure that that happened. In particular, Lubia Nava, Maria Lara, and we know that Mr. Arnie Ayala and Ana Gonzalez played a big role with that as well. So kudos to every school who participated, and to just the general community. We have well over 1,500 people there, when we probably only anticipated a couple of dozen originally. And so I know that the staff adjusted based on the interest that was being showed leading up to that day. But what an amazing day to really see culture at its finest, and to really see the number of kids who took part in the event and exposing them to traditions that go back thousands of years in central and southern Mexico. Also, I just want to congratulate the parents, community members who have participated in the district-wide FLI group. We know that some of the schools have their own cohorts, Eisenhower being one of them. They started one this year, and the interest there has been amazing. But the district-wide FLI has spent the last 11 sessions really focusing on the citizenship class for for the participants, and they completed their program this past week. A great turnout for the ceremony for having completed their citizenship classes. Next will be them applying to take the actual citizenship test. Tomorrow we are honored to host our state California School Board Members Association President Emma Turner, who will be visiting 3 districts in the Inland Empire, Rialto being one of them. She wants to really see the great things that we are doing for students here in our districts. She'll be visiting Morris Elementary School and Carter High School. I know that a couple of our board members have committed to being a part of the welcoming team for our president. And I have heard quite a number of the concerns that have come from Coursera, both from staff, from parents, and district office personnel. We have deployed a number of resources to assist in the immediate needs for the school, but keep in mind that the things that are going to make a real difference are the long-term efforts that we're going to make at the school. I have committed resources to make sure that we have whatever the school needs. And keep in mind that we have concerns like that or needs like that at many schools. But for whatever reason, it has really intensified at Coursera Middle School. And I want to reassure the community, the parents, the students, the staff, that safety of students, safety of staff continues to be our #1 priority. I have had the opportunity to meet with some of the staff at the school, and again, they're brainstorming to see what it is that we can do to really address the needs. Again, it's going to have to take a team effort to really do a blended approach to make sure that we need some accountability. We need to take ownership of this. I take responsibility for this, but it also takes some creative efforts to make sure that we don't punish our students out of the district where it's not necessary. So we'll give an opportunity to a number of strategies. And I plan to meet with the entire staff sometime next week to really hear them out and do what we need to do in order to address the concerns at the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Avila. And that takes us to our student board member who's not here tonight, but then we go to our very own board member, Mr. Joe Ayala.
Thank you, President Montes. Wow, been taking some notes here. And I want to start off by just reminding those people who don't know me very well that I'm a previous educator, taught for 34 years. I got airplanes hit in my chest. I flew over chairs, had chairs thrown at me. I went through the gamut. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Would it be easy? No. Was I well compensated? Absolutely. Did I make it to retirement? Yes. Am I happy? I'm very happy. I was able, because of what I did, to take care of my family. And I took care of them well. I'm proud of that. I'm here trying to help this community keep lid on things because things can get off balanced. We need to bring balance to our community when we hear people with concerns. And there's nothing wrong with that because we believe in open communication here without retaliation. So if you don't have the correct words or you don't have the correct style, that's your style. We respect that. We applaud people that come up here to this podium and express themselves. We have sometimes heard things that were very painful. And let me remind people, when we are hurt, we want to react with retaliation. That's the wrong direction. We can solve our problems. We can't always do it overnight. We're intelligent enough because we know how, we have experience. We have experienced people, very talented individuals. And just to think about, if we have a problem, what do? Problem solving. Most of us in this room know how to solve problems, but just as a simple reminder, sometimes you have to gather people together. Let's call them stakeholders form a committee. Yeah, people don't like that slow process. But you start communicating your concerns so we can learn from one another to do what? To bring balance to our community so that when people come up to the podium, they're proud of where they're at and they're focusing on the big picture. Big picture is our kids, without a doubt. That's what we're here for, to help them. But if we're not on the same page and we're fighting one another, then we start using resources in the wrong direction. So, please, please, remember that it's not what we say to one another, it's how we say it. And if we say it with kindness, this is what Rialto is all about. Give us time, we will rectify these situations. Promise you, our members here at this dais, our administration, our teachers, we all get frustrated. But we will take care of these children. Just give us some time and have faith in us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala. Next, we go to Mr. Joseph Martinez.
Thank you, President Montez. Recently, I was in touch with our provider. Fortinet is the background hardware that we use and software to keep the district safe, cybersecurity-wise. And I've sent this information to Dr. Avila and the IT staff. I want to make sure that parents hear it and that classified staff outside of the IT department hears this. They are offering free network security engineer training. Section 1 and 2 is based on cybersecurity, understanding the needs and the threats, and that is at no charge. No charge. It's free to anyone. And it is at Fortinet.com, F as in Frank, O-R-T as in Tom, I, N as in Nancy, E-T, Fortinet.com. And for the staff within Rialto, Section 3, the cost of it will be waived. So specifically for our computer staff, it is, matter of fact, any of the lunch ladies could do it. Any of the security people could do it. It would be free for the first 3 sections to staff members. This is a big deal. It would help us in the respect that a local district recently had a major problem with ransomware. And I can't say that it's because of the hardware, the software, or the staff, but it's a combination of everything and everyone. I want to thank them for keeping us safe, and I want to continue to add to the classified, the teaching, the community, that I want them to be the eyes that help us find these problems and keep our system safe. The threat, not only will it lock your computer up, talking ransomware here, but they are after money. Even a bigger deal would be they are after your student information. At Kaiser or any hospital, they're after your medical information. So securing that is a big deal, especially to me. I understand it. I want to make sure that all the information is safe. I don't want us to have to report to you at any point that there was an error. So again, Fortinet.com, and I'm starting it soon myself. Okay, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Next, we go to our very own board clerk, Miss Dina Walker.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I've lost my voice and kind of sick, but nothing contagious. Just want to say thank you for for supporting our teachers and administrators. I know we got a long way to go as far as making things perfect, because nothing's perfect, but hopefully that, we'll work towards that around some of the things that the teachers need in support of not only them being effective on the campus, but providing a safe environment for students and the teachers as well. So I know Dr. Avila, you'll commit to follow up, and make sure we're moving in on some of those items. And the other thing is just congratulations to our 2 awardees that are coming up in December. Just exciting. It's always exciting to see that when we're getting awarded awards. Just really does my heart good to being like, hey, we're always on the map for something great happening. Reminder to everyone, if you've got a senior in high school, November 30th is a deadline for UC and CSU applications. If they are hesitant and you don't know what's going on with them, take them to Valley College this coming Saturday, North Hall, 3rd floor. There is a boot camp, and Rialto Unified seniors can get help for free from 8, I think it's 9 to 4 o'clock this Saturday. And the last thing is, we won't see each other again until in December. So happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Next, we go to our very own Vice President, Mrs. Nancy O'Kelly.
Yes, and good evening. Thank everybody for joining us tonight. One thing I wanted to point out, if you didn't know, did anybody see the moon last night?
Beautiful.
It was incredible. It was huge and beautiful. And I looked it up and I found out a full moon in November is called a beaver moon. Named after beavers because that is the time of year that they build their winter dams. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought I would share it. But
we can call it a Leave It to Beaver moon.
Right. And I want to congratulate Armando Urtiaga, Educator of the Year from the California League of Middle Schools, and Jessica Buckle for being selected as Outstanding Educator from the Inland Empire Council for Social Studies. We have a lot to be proud of here in Rialto, and we hear their accolades all the time. I attended the fall joint meeting. I think almost the entire board was there, and Dr. Avila of the San Bernardino County School Boards Association and the Riverside County School Boards Association. The keynote speaker was Tom Armelino, Executive Director for the California Collaborative for Educational Excellence. And he spoke about the California System of Support, a means to build capacity to improve student outcomes. It was a very good presentation. He said a lot of very relevant things. I also attended our own Dia de los Muertos celebration at the Parent Center, and it was outstanding. Each school created a beautiful altar according to the tradition, and they all outdid themselves. There were so many of our parents poured so much work and effort into this day, that celebration. It's amazing. I told people after viewing the altars that I was happy I wasn't a judge because I wouldn't have been able to pick just one winner. They were all that good. And several groups performed, including our own board president, with Danza Azteca, right? And I know the performances were good. I had to leave because I had another commitment I had to get to, but I saw pictures and videos that showed how awesome everybody was. So, way to go. And thank you to the Parent Center. They were the ones who came up with the idea, right? I think that's wonderful. And it's a beautiful tradition and, something to be shared by all of us. And other than that, I just want to say have a wonderful and restful Thanksgiving and eat lots of turkey, and we'll see you in December.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. All right, where do we start?
At at the beginning.
No, I want to stick to 3 minutes. Thank you very much. I want to try to stick to 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Buenas noches. Good evening. I just wanted to touch on a few things. Sometimes, in regards to some of the issues that may or may not be remedied by just spending money on behalf of the district, precious tax dollars that the taxpayers contribute to fund our schools, our public education. In regards to bullying, in regards to employees, staff, teacher safety, in regards to special education, in regards to student discipline, it's very easy for us to say we need more. We need to spend more money. We need to spend more money on bullying prevention. We need to spend more money on special education. We need to spend more money or resources on this and on that. And we want to I want to just say that I understand that there's often times where we do have to spend resources and we do have to spend money to better our programs or to provide more support, but throwing money at something is not always going to resolve all of our issues, our problems, and our shortcomings, right? In regards to special education, it's no surprise that we're still working very hard to get to where we need to be regarding special education. In regards to a FICMAT audit that this district that this board approved some years ago and had conducted, that was in 2014. We spent a hefty sum doing a complete A through Z audit on special education, and the findings were alarming. If I recall, FICMAT had said that of all the districts they ever audited regarding their special education program, our district was probably the least effective, which was very telling, which really solidified what parents and people of the community, special education advocates, had been saying for a very long time and fighting for. Today, in 2019, I believe we've come a long way from then. I believe we've made tremendous strides. And I know for a fact that we still have a lot of work to do. I don't know if it would be a good time now or a good time in the near future to conduct another independent FICMAT or another third-party agency audit. We know we don't want to, I just said the answer to throwing money at everything is not the answer, but if it needs it, if we need it, if we need to, if it's going to improve our district and our services and our special education program, then maybe it's time we consider doing that in the near future, just to see where we're at in 2019 or 2020 compared to 2014 when we had the last one.
One of the things that was brought up tonight is if we're not getting IEPs done, if we're not doing things correctly, we are out of compliance.
Okay.
We do not want that.
So I would like to believe, I would like to think, at least it seems from the outside looking in, that our program has made tremendous improvement. Our district has made tremendous strides, and that money that was spent on that audit in 2014 was money well spent as far as what we learned from that. And before we even consider doing another independent audit, we should really study and look at the previous audit, because we still have copies of that, and we can still gain a lot of insight from that. But that's the point that I want to make really in regards to special education. Some of the other things is it's not necessarily spending money going to be the answer, but doing what we can with what we have. In regards to the bullying, same thing. We've got bullying issues. We've made. We know the district has been proactive in bullying in recent times. In regards to previous bullying issues, we've had serious issues. We've had, and it seems like we still may be having. The district has been proactive in getting and sending resources to our schools, spending money and getting training, in working with groups that specialize in bullying, in staff development regarding bullying. If we need more, if we need to spend more money and resources on that, so be it if we need to, but the point I'm trying to get at, there's a lot of things that we can do with what we have already or what we've learned, and it just takes a combined effort from all fronts. Walnut Avenue is not going to be able to resolve all our issues, nor would I ever think that the district office is going to be able to solve all and every one of our issues. But with that, it's important to note that Walnut Avenue and this Board of Education is committed to ensuring the safety of our students and our teachers and our support staff district-wide. Like Dr. Avila said earlier, our number one goal continues to be, our number one responsibility continues to be safety at all our school sites and at all our district facilities. Regarding student discipline, the controversies regarding student discipline, the governor, recent laws have been passed in regards to what we can and what we can't suspend kids for, or discipline kids for. No longer, in 2019, no longer is it acceptable to just suspend, expel, or discipline a kid for willful defiance. Or at least that's what's expected of us, to not discipline a child just for willful defiance. And there used to be a time where that was acceptable. There used to be a time where there was a zero tolerance for anything and anything. If a kid broke a pencil or just wouldn't keep quiet, they could get expelled or suspended or whatnot. So we have to adapt. We have to do the best that we can with what we have. But I want to just personally say that because the district is trying to accommodate these new laws regarding student discipline, trying to take steps to be proactive with programs like PBIS. If PBIS doesn't work, if PBIS turns out to be a failed attempt, how many times have we failed attempting to be a better district? How many times has anybody failed trying to do what's right and trying to better? If PBIS doesn't work, then we get rid of it. If at the end of the day PBIS is mandated upon us, okay, well, just the culture in reference to the culture of not disciplining kids for everything and anything, or trying to find other ways to deal with the student discipline issues, doesn't mean that we have to sacrifice the safety of teachers, staff members, school sites, or even students amongst each other. If there are things that are happening that are going unreported, if there are things that are happening that are going unattended to, we need to look at that, and I appreciate that we do recognize when we do need to take ownership of whatever we're dealing with, but I also appreciate that we're trying to do the best that we can to comply with the new laws, the new regulations, to find ways to be creative and innovative, to find ways to stop that prison, that school to prison pipeline, to stop that students failure rate, non-graduation rate, whatever we can to do to help. But I don't think anybody on this board or in this district wants to sacrifice student safety or staff safety at the cost of PBIS or any other type of program similar to it, right? But it's going to take a strong effort on all fronts, and it's really easy to say, the board president is to blame, or the special education director, or the principal at this school, or the teacher, or the teachers are to blame. It's really easy to blame people, right? But like Ms. Lindbergh said earlier, it's not about blaming or passing the buck. We all have to take responsibility and ownership. And if everybody is truly doing their part, then we'll be fine. We'll be fine. But it's going to take a multifaceted effort to resolve some of these major concerns. All I can say is that whatever I can do, it's easy for me to say, hey, Dr. Avila and your leadership team, get on the ball. You need to do better. You need to do better. But if I'm not willing to step up the plate and help whatever way I can, then I'm just being part of the problem. So I want to help. So if you have a staff meeting, or if you have if you address the staff in regards to these concerns, I would appreciate an invitation as well. And I'm sure maybe another board member would like to join me. And if two other board members feel stronger about going than me, that's fine. I'm willing to step back. But I'm willing to help in whatever way I can. And people don't have to just, voice their opinions here. They can also contact us. And we know that some people have. But I do look forward to meeting or seeing something be done in regards to these safety concerns, because we can't allow students or staff members to be deliberately get hurt or in dangerous situations. So with that, let's get on with the show.
Can I start?
I did overlook the things that I wanted to share.
Now everybody wants to chime in now.
No, really quickly, I did have the opportunity to attend the play called Bocon at Carter High School last week. So I just wanted to send a shout out to teacher Russ Miller and all the students for an amazing performance. The other, in completing the meditation garden, it took a lot of effort, and there was a lot of energy that was put into it. But I really wanted to thank the staff at M&O, some who stayed up to 4 in the morning the day of to complete it, to make sure that the district had its event for those kids. And I am going to loop back and touch base with the team, because they were there that morning, as if they had had a good night's sleep. But they had just completed the garden. So I'm going to do something very nice for them, but I wanted to make sure that the public knew the kind of, when the team comes together, the amazing things that we can accomplish together. So thank you, Chris, for your staff, and we'll have an invitation for them in the near future.
Did you want to add something?
Just our best to M&O. Again, thank you.
All righty, Ms. Kelly, do you want to chime in on something? No? Okay, all right.
One more, please.
Go for it.
Simple words. Teachers have a right to teach. Students have a right to learn. And when people interfere with that harmony, they're moving in the wrong direction. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala. Next, we go to public hearing, item D, open public hearing. Do we have a motion to open public hearing?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
And item 1 is public hearing on naming of the administration building at Eisenhower High School, reference D 1.1. Any questions or comments, or would anybody from the public like to address this public hearing in regards to the naming of the administration building at Eisenhower High School?
As a former student of yours,
I know.
it warms my heart to see this happen. Well deserved.
Thank you, Chris. I'm very, very honored and really shocked and taken aback, but very honored.
Would somebody like to just say a few words in regards to the naming of the administration building of Eisenhower High School, just so the public knows exactly what?
It's going to be later in the agenda.
Well, in case someone wants to come up and sit, because it's public hearing, in case somebody wants to come up and speak about it, just a brief, that's okay.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent, Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Montes, President Montes. Under Dr. Avila's leadership, Facilities Planning Committee, God bless you, Facilities Planning Committee gets together with Mr. Islam. There is a procedure. In the past, we didn't have a procedure, but Dr. Avila made sure that operation-wise we have a procedure, and whenever there is a letter that comes through, it is viewed at from every single person's perspective. The conversations stay confidential because we are dealing with people's, personnel matters and opinions, and sometimes things can get emotional, sometimes they can't, but we do keep it confidential, and then we vote. We had a community leader who for over 35 years of her life lived in Rialto, city of Rialto, and she has been a fixture in this district. Many of you may know her. I don't know if her name was mentioned. But
Kelly Valencia.
Is it Kelly Valencia? Yes, Kelly Valencia. So Ms. Valencia wanted to bring this to our attention. We all viewed the letter, and it was voted on, and apparently this was a very genuinely written letter, and so there were many people on the community that felt, there's very few perks in public education. And speaking just for myself for a second, and not as a spokesperson, I'm also a product of the Rialto Unified School District, and I wouldn't be standing here today if I had not had some of the greatest teachers that molded me into the person I am today. Principals as well. My parents were also immigrants in this community, and we also struggled, but they always depended on the public education system to help their children achieve. And so in that respect, Mrs. O'Kelly started off as a classroom teacher in the Rialto Unified School District and worked her way up to administration and has been beloved by many, many people in the Rialto Unified School District. And putting my spokesperson hat on, we looked at this from not a jaundiced eye. Everyone had a vote. Everyone had a say-so. We were very respectful with the outcome. And then Mr. Islam turned that information into to our superintendent. And as far as we're concerned, we will make this public. And it is, it's not a school, it's not a facility. It is a administration room where she was an administrator at Eisenhower High School, and it was a very emotional and a very happy meeting. And I don't think I can get more into it, but there were a lot of different people, and every single person had a vote, and every single person had an opinion, and they shared it in the meeting. So congratulations, Mrs. O'Kelly.
Thank you.
Well, it hasn't been approved just
right,
yet.
it hasn't been approved yet. I'm sorry. I walked in, I was speaking to a parent outside.
But thank you for summarizing that for us.
Congratulations for being nominated, Mrs. O'Kelly.
Thank you.
Good save? Okay.
And thank you, Aida. So if anybody's here tonight, since public hearing, would like to have some time to share any comments regarding this public hearing, can do so at this time. If not, then we'll move on with the agenda. The time is 9 p.m. Vote.
Did you close?
Just to
public
open
hearing?
public hearing. We haven't voted.
No, we haven't voted. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And since there's nobody here to share comments regarding the public hearing, do we have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And time is 9:02. Next, we go to consent
President
calendar
Montes.
items.
President Montes, I need to share something with the board. Just came to me from Superintendent Alejandre. We have a group of students from Rialtos who participate in the mock trial. They're currently stuck in an elevator with the teacher. Fire department is there to assist, but they're waiting to hear from the elevator company that needs to come and do whatever they need to do. They are providing pizza and food. I don't know how they're getting it in there.
Really?
But we're asking that, we cross our fingers to make sure that staff and students come out of there safely.
Is this at one of our schools?
They are at the Justice Center.
What school is it?
Downtown San Bernardino.
Didn't say.
Okay.
Carter.
Carter?
Okay, well, please keep us updated on that, and we'll keep them in our thoughts and prayers in the meantime.
Yes. Goodness.
Consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action.
I have a pool.
And do we have any pulls?
I'd like to pull H22. H22.
H22? Okay. Do we have any other pulls? Hearing none, can we get a motion to approve all items E through J with the exception of H22?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That brings us to H22. And the item is to approve an agreement with InterQuest Detection K9s to provide contraband inspection services utilizing non-aggressive contraband detection K9s effective November 14, 2019 through June 30, 2020. InterQuest will provide 35 full-day random inspection visits for the 2019-2020 school year at $520 per team at a cost of $18,200 to be paid from general fund department budget. And Ms. Walker, would you like to make a comment or ask a question?
No, this is, and I'm sorry, I can't talk long, luckily. This is an item that was brought up before a few months back, and I think I had requested that we have some kind of presentation about what the actual is entailed in this kind of search, and we have not had that, so I don't feel that I can confidently, I wouldn't vote for it anyway. I don't believe in any criminalization, this type of criminalization or policing of our students, but we did not have that particular presentation about what actually occurs in there as well, to even kind of set my, kind of set me at ease. So I'm pulling it, so even regardless of what the vote for the board, but I need to vote it separately, not in consent.
Okay, and I just want to mention that I believe a report, if I recall, a report was asked for in regards to information for the effectiveness of this service. I remember getting information in regards to how many times weapons have been discovered, how many times drugs have been discovered. Ms. O'Kelly, did you want to add something?
Well, I just wanted to say, I know the district, we've had InterQuest for years, and I was pretty amazed by that. They use very gentle dogs, like golden retrievers, not a threatening, mean-looking dog. And all they do is, with an administrator, they go into a random classroom, and the dog sniffs, and when he smells something, he just sits like that, and that's the signal to come and see what's in the backpack or whatever. It's really quite impressive, and it has found a lot of drugs on our campuses and things like that. So it has, to me, as you know, we found it very helpful.
What I would like to add is that I requested at the last time we discussed this service, I requested that we not notify the school sites of when these random searches are going to be conducted, and it's not. The purpose of these K-9 searches is to reduce and eliminate drugs and weapons being brought onto campuses. In not only our district, but I'm sure many districts in our nation, students are not the only ones who sometimes accidentally or intentionally take drugs and weapons onto the school sites,
right?
Or to a board meeting. There was a board president some other district that got shot, and that sounds weird talking about, but things happen, right? People accidentally leave a pocket knife or their hunting knife in their car or whatever in their coat. If the adults know that they should not take drugs and weapons onto the school site, even if it was accidental, then we need to deal with that, holding those people accountable. So that's why I requested the last time that I'm okay with this service because it seems to be helping. It seems to be effective in reducing. If the students know that there's a certain amount of random searches, K-9 trained sniffing dogs for drugs and alcohol or contraband, it'll lessen the chance of them taking it. Now, if the adults know that at any time there can be a random search without being given the heads up the day before or the week before that they're coming, this could also help deter any type of contraband from entering our campuses. And it's not to blame anybody, it's not to point fingers at anybody, but if we want to talk about accountability, we also need to take into consideration and make sure that the least amount of people know about these random searches so that we can be more effective and nobody can get tipped off.
And the students react wonderfully with the dogs. They're like not upset that the dog caught them, whereas if it had been a security officer or a cop, they would have, gotten upset. But it was the dog, and they respect what that dog can do, and it really helped. And if we want safe campuses, especially at the high school level, to me it's a, win-win.
And my suggestion would be that the Safety and Security Department be authorized to conduct these random searches. I request that they be given the authorization to conduct these searches without having to advise the school site. If the school site says, hey, you know what, Chief, I'm sorry, we don't have time right now. No, somebody's got to be given time so that can be done. Because that's the whole purpose of it being a random, unannounced search. So if we can do that, I'm okay with moving forward, and we can put this to vote whichever way it goes. But does anybody have any other questions or comments?
I just want to share with Dina here some perspective. I went through those searches myself when I was a teacher. I wish we would have had the golden retrievers, but they brought in shepherds at our school. Yeah, they brought the shepherds in, and the people with the dogs were intimidating. And you know, I don't like to scare children. I don't like to do that.
No, I don't either. Your
But
district hired the wrong company.
But you're right. You bring in those golden retrievers, and they just sit
They
there.
just love them.
Oh, they're the best dogs in the world, you know.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with the golden retriever, and you know, we have to do something to keep these the kids who are using poor choices to think twice before they misbehave. I want to also remind, it's not always the students. We had a vote here, Mr. Martinez, you remember, we had a substitute teacher with an 8-inch blade. The third grader reported it, and then he fought us over our decision because we didn't want him back.
As long as you don't share the name, Mr. Ayala,
No, there's no names being shared. But this is when I wish we would have had that dog instead of the third grader having to go up there.
And it brings us back to safety for the students and our teachers.
Right.
You know, if a kid's got brass knuckles and hits a teacher with that, you know, that's lights out right there. You know, we want to do everything that we can. You know, pocket knives, box cutters, anything dangerous. You know, nowadays when people think of drugs, illegal drugs, people think of, you know, marijuana or other types of drugs. But nowadays, some kids are taking Xanax and what are the other drugs called? I forget the names of them, but I don't even know about these medicated drugs and these pills that kids are taking onto the school campuses. We need to work on all of that. So, Mr. Chief Leary, if he's here, would you like to weigh in on this item?
Good evening, President Montez, board members, Chief, and Dr. Avila, Superintendent Avila. My name is Gordon Leary, Chief of Safety and Security for the district, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have of me concerning the Canine Search Program that's been in effect now for more than 10 years in the district and has been quite successful. We haven't had any discrepancies. We haven't had any incidents that raise any concerns with the community or with the school district since we've had this program in effect.
Are staff members and teachers in general okay with this type of program?
Yes, we haven't had any issues where principals felt that it has proven to be ineffective. All of our principals use the program at all of our secondary sites. It is only used at the middle schools and the high schools. It is not used at the elementary school sites. The dog does not come into contact with sniffing any students. The students are removed from the classroom, and then the dog is brought in. And at that time, if the dog alerts on any of the belongings or any items in the classroom, that would be the reasonable suspicion to interview a student. Parents are always notified, both in advance through our parent-student handbook that goes out each year. And then there's a letter that will go out to parents if their students are ever questioned, whether the students are searched or not. The letter will still go home with the students, letting the parents know that your child was interviewed today in regards to the canine safety inspection.
What types of contraband have been found at our schools?
More recently, it's the vape pens, because of the growing trend with vape pens in the community and the growing interest of our students with the vape pens. Even though these types of devices come now with a more disguised smell like strawberries or other fruits or candy, the canine is able to still detect it if it's mixed with any type of marijuana or even tobacco. The dog is still able to detect it And whereas you and I wouldn't be able to smell it, the dog would be able to detect it. And any other type of material that might be illegal for a student to have, the dog is able to detect that. Prescription medication, the dog is able to alert on that. Also, the dog is, more importantly for their safety, is anything that has to do with gunpowder. The dog would be able to alert on that.
If we have a choice between the Golden Retriever or the German Shepherd, I know they both have been trained. My vote would be for the Golden Retriever. And, you know, I know because sometimes these dogs will be in the cars and they can look pretty vicious, you know, when somebody walks by. And we don't want to scare them, but we do want them to have respect. And maybe a letter to explain to the kids what the procedure will be. You know, if a dog comes into your room and you share this procedure with the teacher to explain to the students that you don't have to be scared, but you'll be asked to walk outside the room and the dog's just going to walk around and there's no need to be alarmed. But if you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, well, then what can you expect? Something like that.
Absolutely. We do have a script that all the officers are required to follow, with the announcement that is made with the dog handler and the officers together. An administrator is required that an administrator be present during the canine checks that take place in the classrooms as well.
That was awesome.
Okay.
What kind of warning does a site get? I mean, a day warning, any warning?
Well, currently, we schedule it with the school sites. So they can schedule it weeks in advance, a month in advance, that the administrator would know. Typically, it's the administrator that would be the one that would know that the canines are coming, and the teacher would know. That's the current practice that we have in place.
If we could change that.
I would agree with Mr. Montez. Let's do it maybe the morning of. That way, nobody escapes.
Just, you know, just to be safe in general. Anybody could have a bad day. You know, we've got people, not just people that are permanent employees, but we've got, you know, substitute employees at all levels, in all positions, and we need, you know, people to fill in for permanent employees at times, or even people that are contracted for other services. You know, we've got people that, you know, we've got parents, you know, that sometimes are upset. We've got people, you know, vendors that come onto the schools, and if they happen to have something on them, we want to make sure we prevent, you know, any type of contraband on these school sites.
So, Dr. Avila, could you review the policy, please? Chief, get together with Dr. Avila. And
absolutely.
You've heard that our concern is warning the site too far in advance.
Okay.
So whatever you guys come up with, bring it to the board, please.
I'll follow the superintendent's directives on that moving forward.
Boy, you know, that's what we're here for, to talk and discuss things. It's easy for our kids to feel like we're against them. And especially if they're having a bad day, or, you know, they're not comfortable with their educational progress. So they look for excuses sometimes to fight back. I would strongly suggest not to pull surprises on these kids, but to give them an opportunity to think about their actions so that they have a fair chance. It's kind of like when you're going down the road with your car and there's a police officer behind the bushes. Look, just be out in the open, let us know that you're there, and we'll be responsible. You know, it doesn't mean we're going to speed up just because we don't see you. We didn't look at our speedometer. But the surprises, I remember those kids, when you pull the surprises, all of a sudden they start forming different ideas. It's us against them. This is not a football game. we're here to help you to get through this experience in a positive way. So we're letting you know ahead of time that, you know, we're going to have some random inspections. You don't have anything to worry about. Follow the rules and you'll be good. But if you think you're above the rules, then how do you expect us to help you? You know, something worded in the right way that they feel it's fair. Because if they don't think it's fair, you're going to open up doors that you don't want to open.
And just lastly, Chief Leary, in your years of experience in safety and being in charge as a chief of the safety operations in the district, in your professional opinion, do you believe this service does help keep our schools safer for students and for teachers?
Absolutely. The statistics speak to that, that we have in place right now to show that we've been able to greatly minimize the presence of drugs and alcohol on all of our campuses, and we have to contribute a great deal of it to this particular program.
All right. Anybody else?
I just want to say.
Thank you, Chief.
I just want to not get it, not that dogs aren't friendly, not that this isn't effective for what your purpose is as far as, you know, yeah, we yielded 10 knives, 4 guns, and whatever. I'm talking about the humanity of students in the environment and the atmosphere of a school and educational setting. And seeing a dog being, you know, brought onto the campus, period, whether they're in the classroom when they're there or they're not. The visual and the psychological toll that it takes on kids to see someone doing that, because we've associated dogs and this, you know, power with very negative things that happen to people, specifically around policing. And so that is my resistance to this, my opposition to this for that reason. Not that I'm not saying that it's effective for whatever you feel that your outcome is, and for the district to do this as a means of keeping weapons out. I am talking about the students in particular and what that means to, and what is it saying to us about how we feel and view our students and the tactics that we take on keeping our kids safe. And I don't believe using policing techniques or policing techniques to make our schools safe.
One more comment. We did have females walk in without the flak jackets. Looked friendly. They just looked like they were walking a dog. And the kids, they weren't threatened with that type of situation. They were threatened when they had the shepherds and the flak jackets, and there's a different appearance. But if you go with the labs or the golden retrievers, maybe bring a young lady
no
that's
flak
smiling,
jackets.
little
They've never worn
ponytail or
flak
something. You know,
jackets, have they?
Got any chihuahuas?
No.
well, that might work too. But I've never seen
No, we don't have any chihuahuas.
But good point.
Call for the vote.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Nothing else?
Call for the vote. You got to call for the vote.
Yeah, I'm just making sure nobody else. That's it? Okay, thank you, Chief. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're going to call for a nays.
That was an aye?
Aye.
Okay. And any abstentions? Noes?
No.
Okay. All right. Next, we go to discussion action items. Item K1, award bid number 19-20-002 for the addition of 3 relocatable classroom buildings at both Dullahan and Dunn Elementary Schools to Bow Engineering, Inc. for a total cost not to exceed the amount of $560,000 to be paid from Capital Facilities Fund 25. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item K2, adopt resolution number 19-2029, declaring November 11th through the 15th, 2019 as National School Psychology Awareness Week, with the focus of helping students discover, share, and celebrate their strengths and support locally developed educational programs and observances at no cost to the district. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we go to item 3, adopt resolution number 19-2031 approving amendment 01 with the California Department of Education, which increases the maximum reimbursable amount for child development contract number CSPP-9427 by $129,406 with no charge to the minimum days of operation requirement of 176 days. All terms and conditions of the original agreement shall remain unchanged at no cost to the district. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we go to item K4, approve an agreement with Newhouse, thank you, Education Center to provide professional learning in the area of literacy and reading disabilities to 20 staff effective November 14, 2019 through June 30, 2020 at a cost of $66,600 to be paid from the general fund, special education budget. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have
Second.
questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we go to item K5, approve the naming of the administration building at Dwight D. Eisenhower High School to be the Nancy G. O'Kelly Administration Building at no cost to the district. And there's a reference K5.1 in the back of the agenda for more information. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, just on the naming process, I know we enacted a policy right around the naming process. Have we adhered to that policy? Because this is the first time publicly that I've seen it. Are we adhering to that policy? And are we giving enough time for the public to know about it and then to respond? Since we just had the public hearing today and we're voting to approve it the same day.
So to my, excuse me, I have a bad cough as well. But yes, to my understanding, we are adhering to the policy.
Go ahead.
No one.
Okay. I was just going to say, I'd recommend that since it just got heard today, regardless, that we wait to vote on it in our next meeting. That's just my recommendation.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
First of all, I'm good either way. That's excellent. There will be a cost to the district. How are we going to identify the building? Typically, there's, paint or a plaque. And how would that be done? Has any thought been given to that?
Not as of right now. We're going to, if it moves through and is approved, we'll convene a team with facilities to look at how other buildings have been dedicated. And there will be some minimal costs, obviously, with the lettering, the plaque, or any other rendition that we would consider for the dedication.
And I just wanted to be upfront. I'm good with it. I'm okay with a brass plaque, but there would be costs, which I'm okay with, and it would be well deserved. And
how can you put a price tag?
It's about time.
I agree. I'm running out of time as board president, and I want to try to get everything done as fast as possible before I pass the gavel, presumably to Mrs. Nancy O'Kelly, who's our current vice president. Now, this board, in the past, this board in the past, many moons ago, sometimes engaged in keeping the president and vice president and board clerk positions to just to a selected majority, and not really engaging in more fair passing of the positions of the offices of responsibilities. And it's my understanding that this current board has been okay with the practice of rotating, and letting everybody have an opportunity to take a turn at the different chairs. So assuming that we are going to follow in that, Mrs. O'Kelly would most likely be the incoming president, and I don't want to delay and let this fall in her hands since she is the person who the renaming this would be in. So if the board is okay with it, let me get this over and done with. If it's the last thing I do as board president, and then once it's over and done with, we can pass over the gavel to whoever it's going to be the next president here. But I truly believe and agree with what everybody has said about Miss O'Kelly earning this honor here, and I'm sure if we approve it, her family will be very proud, and all of the students, all of the generations that have come to know her will be happy for her as well, and people that have been able to work with her and grow with her. So, any other questions or comments?
I just want clarification. It's not that I don't feel that she's deserving, or it's already her school anyways.
Yeah. I'm just
talking
saying
about public process.
Yeah, I get it.
It has not been made aware that it was being named, and it hasn't been made. The meeting was on the 7th. That was like a week ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people haven't been able to weigh in from the community because they could have been able to whatever.
Yeah,
and that's what we said that we would give. I know when we had this, the whole point was the building that was at Fitzgerald. And that was the whole point, is that putting it out to the public so that people know what's going on first. But it has not had an opportunity to be put to the public, just so they know what's going on.
No, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Since we just had the hearing an hour ago.
I know, I get it, but the truth is, this agenda has been posted with advance, 3 days in advance, that hiring to the Brown Act and hiring to the notification to the public of what was going to be on the agenda. We had the public hearing and gave the public an opportunity to weigh in, whichever way they felt regarding the item, and we did adhere to the new policies, right, Mr. Islam? We did adhere to the new policy that the board asked for to be created, to the procedure. There was a committee.
Yes,
there was a nomination. There was a committee,
yes.
And as far as I know, the process was fair, and one tiny administration office for somebody who was the biggest cheerleader that school will ever have. I think it's a reasonable thing, and I'm not saying nobody else is against it, but I just think nobody's against it. So if it's okay with everybody else, I'd like to just get it done
I
tonight.
have another question for Mr. Islam. What's the time frame from the time that they notify that a building is going to be in the new policy? What do we say in the policy, saying that from the time that there's an idea of a building being named, that we're giving an opportunity to put it out to the public to submit names even? Because that was the piece about what happened at the other school.
In the policy, there's nothing defined the timeline, how long it should be announced or shared with the community. The policy defines clear due process. We have to have the committee. We need to have conversations once we receive proposals, which we have formal proposals, and we engage. We have parents who was a part of the committee, a couple of parents, and how we bring the recommendation to the board. The timing, again, is nothing defined on the policy, how long this has to be open to the public and or give information to the public as for their knowledge. There's nothing in the policy.
But it was done through by it being posted on the agenda. The public had an opportunity to at least know what was going to be on the agenda and weigh in on.
You're correct. We follow the Brown Act, and on the public hearing, we post the public hearing and follow the Brown Act. Yes.
Okay. And did somebody else want to ask a question or make a comment?
Yeah, that in practice, normally there's outreach, a very specific outreach for the community when there's a new building or a new school that's going to be dedicated to a name, but not an existing facility per se. Now, we can review the policy to make sure that there is that requirement difference within the existing policy, and if the board so wishes, we can
modify the policy so that we have a time frame for either type of recommendation, whether it's an existing facility or a new facility.
And I think that'd be good to look at moving forward for the next times around. But I felt really bad not turning down the other namings that were recommended. But if a process was followed this time, procedures, steps were taken for more fairness and transparency, then I'm okay with that. But moving forward, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to set some time frames on that procedure.
Right in the middle. This isn't actually your last meeting as president.
Right. That's what
you would, before you hand the gavel over, it could be the last thing that night.
Okay.
If you chose, but I'm okay either way. But that would be the middle of the road, if you will.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay, so the item is to approve the naming of the administration building of Dwight D. Eisenhower High School to the Nancy G. O'Calley Administration Building at no cost to the district. Any other questions or comments before? Would anybody like to entertain a motion to amend this item?
So I just said that we table it until next time so that it can just be put back on the agenda the same way, the same thing, just to the next board agenda.
Okay,
That's my suggestion. I'm not making a motion yet. I mean, we've already made a motion, so we've got to vote to decline the other one or amend it. But
okay. So
I'm okay either way. I mean, either way, it's going to happen.
Right.
Okay.
It's.
But it wouldn't look good for it to happen if she becomes the next president. It wouldn't be good for it to happen then.
I don't know.
If I'm board president and a building is being named after me, I'd feel awkward being the board president while it's being named after me.
Well, you would still be board president. She
When
would
you make the-
be incoming.
Yeah.
Well, but remember, at that meeting, we change offices at the beginning of the meeting.
That has changed. We can change that. I did when, I think it was last time.
I'm not trying to hold on to this longer than I have to. I'm going to pass it right away.
I understand. There's a lot of work that goes into that.
Okay. So I'm just going to call for the vote for this item. If anybody wants to, change anything else or not make a motion to change anything, then I'm going to call.
I would comment one thing, though.
Yeah.
This is to the community. More than likely, this is going to pass right now. But if the community would want us to have more time between the committee meeting and the actual board action, please communicate with Dr. Avila's office. That way, we don't put this off because it's going to happen. It's simple. It's just that if the community requires or would like to have more time, then that can be resolved.
Then if it's going to happen, what are we waiting for then?
For you to call for the vote?
All right, I call for the vote then. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Abstain.
Any no's? 4.
Well, thank you. I love the idea that a part of me will always be at Eisenhower. That's wonderful. Thank you.
More than the blood, sweat, and tears that already is there. But my only comment, you should have wore green tonight.
That's true.
Okay, so now we go to item 6, approve the recommendations of the Administrative Hearing Panel, AHP, Administrative Hearing Case Number 19-20-26. Stipulated expulsion case numbers 19-20-22, 19-20-27, and reinstatement of expulsion case number 18-19-65. Vote by board members.
Aye.
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 Aye. Why does this feel like it's been a bittersweet meeting tonight? The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on Wednesday, December 11, 2019 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John R. Castellanos Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Time is 9:40.